Hello and welcome back to Sprite Plays HyperRogue. Today I am feeling quite a bit better, not completely back on my feet. I mean, I am back on my feet, I'm back and about, I'm just a little bit shy of perfectly healthy. And I think I am pretty well ready. It's quite late as I record this. It's been kind of a busy day of seeing friends and making things out of clay and just going around doing stuff, and so I haven't been able to record until pretty late at night, and not really sure how this is going to go, but let's just plunge right in, and let's make sure that we're not going to get chased before we even get in here. Alright, so even though we have one treasure, we already have a fruit that we can get to relatively easily. There we go. And I see another one that we can get to, so we just need to be very careful about how these branches arrive at us. And it looks like we have a leak over there. And I'm not sure whether or not that's going to be a problem. Leaks are... I just don't trust them. I kind of don't want to mess around with them, because we have a much, we have more sources of ivy coming after us. And so I think instead of trying to work around that, I'm just going to try and find another clearing. And because we have 10 treasures from this land, I think it's going to be a little more hostile than it usually is. Let's see, we can make a barrier there that actually won't do anything for us. And that guy, yes, is going to get up to us. There we go. So that's those blocked off. And now we're just looking for another clearing. They have seemed pretty common for the most part, but for whatever reason, I'm not seeing one. It might be my own observation skills at fault. It's probably my... or it's just we're just getting unlucky. Either is very likely, but I'm the sort of person I tend to, whenever I have a chance to blame myself, I do. Because I'm the only one I've got any control over, and so, even if I'm not the one at fault, all I can really look at is, what could I have done differently in a situation? And so, this particular situation is, not that great of an example because, even if I'm more observant, that only matters if we are, in fact, passing clearings. And so, if, in fact, we're just having a fairly long string of bad luck, which is certainly what it seems like, then being more observant won't do anything at all. And so, even though I think it's really good to be really aware of your limitations, really aware of your, what you could be doing better, what you are struggling with. Even though that's, a really valuable skill to have, it's also really important to be able to recognize when things just aren't going your way. Let's see, these will reach me at the same time, so I want to go there. This is fine. Those guys are going to compete, yes. That'll loop around, there we go. Oh, I waited a little too long doing that. I'm going to duck in here and cut that off. And just cut my way into toward these fruits here. I'm kind of looking at the grid structure, trying to figure out... Let's see, I have not put myself in a good position here. I think if I cut this one, they will sync up correctly. Yeah. We lost a lot of territory there. Let's see. I can't get to this fruit without killing this fruit over here. I think I might do that anyway, though, since this one seems easier to get to. We'll kill that one up there, but again, this one just seems so much more convenient. And then we have... this one seems relatively within reach. Probably should have killed him on a hexagon to kind of give me more control. Okay, these timings are fine. Do that, and then we can just cut that to get rid of all of that. And we are at 4. Boy, this is a hard-fought 4. But it looks like we're about to get into a couple more. There we go. That was not probably thought through as well as it should have been. I wonder if, you know, for getting higher scores, I wonder if managing kind of old and new ivy, you know, what is old, not having old and new ivy next to each other like this. Though I'm not really sure. I'm a little not at my sharpest right now. As I mentioned, it is pretty late. And, actually, now that I'm looking at it, most of the old and new stuff that I'm seeing is where the growth wave is, but there was somewhere where it seemed like there was this real issue of a very new branch being kind of in parallel to an older branch. This is fine. Good. Yes, I'm okay with that. We will cut there, and then that helps us out there. Let's see, now we just want to fight these guys in their own time. Those guys will compete. Okay, I didn't do that quite right. I can't go onto that heptagon, I can't step forward at all, but these guys are going to reach me at the same time, so I think if I go there? Yeah, and then there, but I wait for this guy to wrap around instead. Let's see. No, I'm really not making progress against these guys. I wonder if I need to do something a little more drastic? Oh, here we go. So that worked. And then we can clear that side. Give us some room to escape. I do not like the way this is looking. Now, we can't get pinchered here, but we can get... Let's see. Okay, we will be able to get out of here. After that. Oh, things are not happy right now. I'm going to actually back off. We have 8. So we only need 2 more. And I see several here that are... pretty close. I would like to see if we can get them. So there's one more. So we only need one more of these. See, both of those are one step away, so I'll move over here. That guy's 2 steps away. That guy's 2 steps away. Oh, but they're gonna trap me if I wait those 2 steps. So we're gonna get pushed back a little because I made a mistake. There is our 10th fruit. Apparently that's not the first time we've done that. I thought it was. But yeah, we managed to do it. I don't remember what orb we unlock here, but let's see if we can find it. And there is the bull run with the butterfly, or the bull dash with the butterflies. Let's see, orb of speed, orb of storms. Those are good things to just have walking around. And, you know, if we don't see, like, an obviously new orb after a bit of walking, I think that we'll just take a look at the overview. And I've been, you know, I've been kind of thinking a lot recently about, you know, the way I play, and specifically about the whole idea of blind play versus looking things up, because I'm always very tempted to look things up, and I think that there's a lot of benefit in doing so, and I think it's very difficult to fault someone, especially when it's right there in the game itself. Overgrown woods, let's see, clearing, mutant fruit, orb of freedom. Yeah, I think I remember that. I think it's similar to Flash, but is triggered differently. Activated if you are unable to escape without making illegal moves or going through cells which are currently adjacent to enemy monsters. Most game over situations are covered by this, but generally this orb is oversensitive. When activated, it creates a flash effect of radius 5. Alright, and it looks like it's 70% out of 5,000, so they're pretty rare. But now we know. And if you ever watch my live show, you might have seen me basically fighting this very difficult boss without really knowing any of its patterns or even how many patterns there are. I don't know yet how long the boss is, and I've really been debating whether or not to just look it up so that I know and can form a plan. Versus just kind of continuing to grind blindly. And, you know, normally I would grind it out, but it's taking many, many hours to beat this boss, and I don't know. You know, I'm concerned about, you know, keeping it entertaining, and, you know, I'm always torn between variety and sticking to the same thing. And a game like this provides a lot of variety inherently, and so playing it over and over and over is, you know, it doesn't get old. This game hasn't gotten old after hundreds of hours. But a game like Habdaluka, it's the same thing over and over, especially now that I'm on this boss. It's really just the same thing over and over, and I really enjoy that. I really like long grinds. But I'm always nervous about that. I'm always nervous about how interesting I'm able to make it to people who are not playing the game. And I've had, you know, a lot of difficulty on this channel, you know, people generally not wanting to watch the grindier games that I've played. And so, you know, I don't know if I think that the live context makes grinding better, but I think on this channel I'm going to avoid the really grindy games, except maybe to report progress or do, you know, quick overviews, which I want to do every once in a while. It's a rare thing, because I feel like I'm very bad at reviews. I'm very bad at especially first impressions, and so I generally try to avoid that. But, you know, every once in a while I like a game so much that I want to throw up a little bit of a, hey, did you know about this? But HyperRogue, you know, I have no worries about that. It's a game that I have tried very hard to make myself sick of, and, you know, even speedrunning could not ruin this game for me, which is really something. So in the next episode, we're going to be climbing mountains, I believe. Oh, there was a challenge that was recommended to me in a comment. I'm gonna have to re-look at that, but that is very much something. I really want to climb a mountain and get the orb for the mountain, because it's a really cool orb. But I also want to incorporate suggestions whenever I get them, so we'll be doing one or the other of those. You know, we've come to kind of a branching point where we've accomplished what we sought out, what we set out to accomplish, and it's kind of funny that we got 3 orbs, you know, right after that, because usually that's like you get 3 orbs after completing a main quest. And so it's you know, kind of funny to me that we finished this objective that I had set for myself, and we got 3 orbs. But you know, I did say, you know, maybe we want to get more. I didn't really feel comfortable. Like, I didn't feel like grinding out more was going to be a really good way of doing it. And, you know, I do want to, you know, even though this isn't a repetitive game, I do want to keep the variety up. And, you know, I am kind of, you know, I go through phases. I'm kind of right now going through a phase of I want to get these runs as long as I can get them. And I want to really last a long time. And so I think probably the most likely thing we're going to do is we're going to go and get the orb for the mountain, and then we're going to go do that challenge. Because it was a challenge that did not look like something. I don't remember the exact details. I'm going to have to go back and look at them. But it was not a challenge that looked like something that I would survive. So all that is in the future. Some of it too far off for my little brain to handle, but one week at a time, we will just continue to have our adventures. And until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.